Hey everyone, James Lynch here, and this is Awful Takes, where I go back and look at some of the worst comments leading into UFC 311, in particular the bantamweight title fight, where Merab Dvalishvili successfully defended his title against Umar Nurmagomedov, winning a decision. And a couple of housekeeping notes before we start. Number one, this is just for fun, people. Don't take this too seriously. We're just going back and looking at some of the funny comments leading into the fight. Number two, I'm not going after people for picking Umar. I think it was totally fair. He was the betting favorite. I picked Umar. It's the people who are disrespectful, arrogant, didn't give Merab a chance in this fight, implied that he was scared to fight Umar, that type of stuff. That's what we're looking for. These people need to be called out and held accountable, because we live in a world now where people just say this stuff and no one gives them any accountability whatsoever. So we're going to do that. And the third thing I wanted to mention is that we got a little bit of bonus content in this video, because there's some comments after the fact that I think we need to talk about too. So we're going to start with my MMA Pros Picks videos. This is the series where I go and, interview fighters, and in the middle of the interview, I ask the fighters about a bunch of upcoming picks, and people take these way too seriously. First off, these fighters are not experts at picking fights. It's an opinion video. If I wanted to get experts, I would get people that, work in the betting industry or people who watch tape. Those are experts. Fighters are not experts. They compete for a living, yes, but they're not there watching all this tape and studying every fighter, especially some of the fighters I ask. They're not even in their division. So that's one thing I find really funny, and people take it so personally, and you'll see some of the comments here as we go through it. So let's start with our first comment. Same as always, picking a friend over who they actually think will win. No, that's not the case all the time. Again, there's reasons to like Merab going into this fight. He's the champion. It wins over Piotr Jan and Henry Cejudo. So this whole idea that people were only picking Merab because they didn't like Umar, there's no proof of that. I think there's plenty of good reason to pick Merab here. Yes, the betting odds told a different story, but I think most fans that watch the sport knew that going in, this was going to be a close fight. It's the radical fans who, think that their guy can't possibly lose that we're kind of focusing on here. They just can't accept that Team Khabib is on another level, or maybe they picked the right guy. Did you ever think of that? Once again, we will prove them all wrong. This is another thing I chuckle at, where people think they actually help the fighter win. That's not how it works. How are these dudes professional fighters? They think Umar is a wrestler. Shake my head. Umar did wrestle in this fight. What are you watching? I have it 90-10. Umar will win, obviously. He didn't win, obviously. This is what I'm talking about. People who did not give Merab a chance in this fight. You're either not watching the fights or overrating your guy. It's as simple as that. Why these dudes not put money on Merab? Well, they're not allowed to. So first, this guy says, with all respect on both, but there's no chance for Merab to win against Umar. This is what I'm talking about. The guy tries to be respectful here, but then he says there's no way that Merab can win. Based off what? Where was this going into the fight where Merab couldn't win this fight? It's crazy to me. Umar's on a different level. He's a great fighter. He did not win this fight. Choose Merab by experience. Umar trains with Khabib and Islam. I think they meant that he has more fights, but people just think whoever you train with, that automatically means you're going to be a world champion. Umar's the next champion, no doubt about it. I think Umar will be the champion one day, just not at this very moment. Merab, serious? Laughing emoji. Yeah, serious, dude. He won the fight. Same thing they did with Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev and Ilya Topuria, Max Holloway. Actually, the Topuria Holloway thing, I'm pretty sure the fighters picked Topuria in that one, but that's aside the point. Their pick will always losing badly. Nope, they didn't lose badly this time. They won. People who say Merab don't understand MMA might be the opposite here, to be honest, because he ended up winning. Umar's going to smash. Umar all day. Umar will easily control this fight with his striking. Merab won't be able to cage push Umar, because Umar is very strong and he can wrestle too. Again, this is the problem here. Will easily control the fight. He didn't easily control the fight, and I think even going in, yes, if you thought Umar was going to win, the striking was where most thought he would have the edge, but he's not easily going to do it. Again, you're not watching Merab's fights, or you're overrating your guy. It's one or the other. It's as simple as that. Buckley has the worst takes. He had the right take here. Merab won. Any fighter picking Merab over Umar is cooked. They should just quit MMA. They don't know how the odds are. I don't know how the odds are so close. Umar should be minus 1,000 at least. Notice this guy hasn't come back to the video, because he's absolutely wrong. Again, ended up being a close fight, but to think that Umar should be minus 1,100 over Merab Dvalishvili, again, you're not watching Merab fights. The usual American-based bias. Again, Merab is Georgian. He's not American. Hate to break it to that guy. So-called fighters and experts. Nobody called them experts. Shameful bias against Muslim fighters. Again, this is a made-up narrative that fighters are picking against Umar because he's Muslim. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. They just don't like the fact that they picked the other way. It's as simple as that. People picking Merab are so stupid. Are they stupid today? Who are these losers anyways? They're all UFC fighters. Merab will never beat Umar, even if they fight 100 times. Umar is so much better everywhere. He lost! Where are you today, dude? I haven't seen you in the comments. Come on, man. And then here's another one. I'm not surprised about the picks. It's all about the hate. Watch these videos. There's nowhere in this video where anyone disrespected Umar Nurmagomedov. This is something I get so annoyed with, where if fighters pick against the grain, they're somehow haters or they hate the fighter. How can you hate Umar, first of all? The guy's super nice, he's entertaining and everything. And two, like, there's no evidence of them hating the fighters. This stuff drives me nuts. Stop being so tribal and just understand that people are allowed to have different opinions. So that's part one. Let's get into part two. Fighters are so bad at predicting. Zero chance Merab can smudge Umar against the cage for 5 rounds. He has zero damaging ability, while Umar is just better about everywhere, and he actually hurts his opponents. He didn't hurt Corey Sandhagen in their fight, so that's wrong right off the top. And number 2, zero chance. Merab won, dude. Come on, where are you now? Merab is crying as much as he has been, and now even Aljo is crying for him. Will age so bad when Umar dominates him. Umar didn't dominate him. Merab was not crying. Yes, he was a bit emotional going into the fight, but this is what I mean. Fans think they know better than the fighters. Those who picked Merab simply because they are jealous of Umar's skyrocketed achievements. What achievements? He's never won a title. He's been undefeated. He got a great win over Corey Sandhagen, but what are these achievements you speak of? He's not even champion yet. Here's a great one. This is what I'm talking about, the scared thing. Merab pulling out of the fight just days prior to the fight. I won't believe he's entering the cage until Umar unless he does it for real. And he's shitting in his pants. Again, he not only showed up, he won, dude. Where are you now? These guys went into hiding after the fight. Umar smashes him. Merab may get one lucky takedown out of 30 tries. Merab got a couple takedowns. Come on, man. Give some respect. This fight prediction will be easy. Merab will pull out. End of story. And then I had to reply in here. And if he doesn't, will you apologize? Absolutely. And he did. I'll give my guy Salty some credit here. But again, this idea that Merab's going to pull. When has Merab ever pulled out of a fight? Come on, guys. Let's get real here. Here's another great one. These fighters are dumb. They literally give no good reasons as to why they made picks, because it's an opinion video, dude. What a joke they are. I still like your channel, but the explanation given by these fighters is wild. Glad none of them can gamble. They'd be broke. They wouldn't be broke here. They picked the right guy, guys. Again, if they don't pick your guy, you're not making this comment, right? Now let's go to part 3. There's some great comments here as well. And then we got some bonus content for you guys after. Make sure you stay till the end. People have no idea how good Umar is and how hard he is preparing for this fight. Umar's winning 100%. People do have a good idea how good Umar is because he was a betting favorite going into this fight. There's this fake narrative that people are counting Umar out when he's a big betting favorite going into the fight. He ended up losing. Now where's this guy talking? If you watch these long enough, you know how it goes when Nurmagomedovs are involved. People are tired of seeing them win but can't do anything about it. Well, they didn't win on Saturday, dude. Come on. All these dumb fighters also had Holloway winning against Topuria. Umar is going to make Merab look like an easy, mark my words, and new. Went into hiding after the fight 11 days ago. Mind-blowing, but this is good. This will make people realize there's levels to this. Umar 50-45 or finish in the later rounds didn't happen. They lack basic MMA. Maybe you lack basic MMA because Merab ended up winning. Fighters are so dumb. I think he meant to say dumb. Umar will win 120%. Percentages don't work like that. How come these people never learned? It pisses me off a bit. How come regular people predict better than these professionals? Odds don't lie. They bet which fighter they think is going to win, not which fighter they want to win. These people are dishonest, and it's pointless to ask them. I think it was pretty good to ask them because they were on the right side here. This is what I'm talking about. People cannot fathom that someone else is picking another fighter. This isn't a case of a fighter, low in the rankings fighting a UFC champion. This is, Merab Dvalishvili, an accomplished fighter who was on a win streak, who didn't show any real signs of weaknesses the last couple fights, fighting a fighter in Umar who's great in his own right. But this idea that Umar was going to steamroll him was just completely delusional. Umar will never lose. I don't imagine any Nurmagomedov family losing in MMA. They're so disciplined and talented. Well, first off, some Nurmagomedovs have lost, not just Umar, but yeah, again, that's crazy. Generally, I think these fighters pick against the Dagestanis because of bias. No proof of that whatsoever. At least this guy says Umar could get him on the feet, though, for sure. But there's no bias here. That's what people got to realize. Umar and easily, this is what I'm talking about. No respect whatsoever to Merab. Umar is going to win. This champion is ducking, crying, whining for a reason. He knows that this fighter is far superior to anyone he's ever fought, and he looks scared in his press conferences. Umar by sub. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. No respect given to Merab whatsoever going into the fight. Now they lose, they go into hiding. Merab has 10% to win this fight. UFC fighters are clowns. I don't think they're clowns. They picked the right guy. Now, for some added bonus content, you think that people after a fight like that would, give credit to Merab. It was a great performance. And again, the fight was very close. I give Umar full marks. He did break his hand. That was a part that happened in the fight, but Merab also had some injuries going in as well. But listen to some of the excuses after the fact. And I knew this would happen because people just can't accept that a fighter beat their fighter. So these are some of the takes that we've had after the fact. This is a video I did right after the matchup doing a reaction to the fight and just kind of explaining what happened in the fight. And there's people that are still in denial that Umar actually lost the fight or are making up excuses. Let's go check out some of the comments here. Umar had a broken hand in the first. Merab got very, very lucky fighting a man with one hand. Whose hand do you think he broke it on? Merab! Come on, man. You can't give any credit to Merab for, you know, standing in front of him and striking with him? How do you think Umar broke his hand? On the fence? He broke it on Merab. Yes, it was a factor in the fight, but that's not the Merab didn't get lucky in this fight. Fighting, you're going to get injuries in fights. You're going to have injuries going into fights. Give the man some respect. Super annoying. Umar, round 1, 2, and 5, it's a robbery. Fight was not a robbery. And just to add to this even more, I'm going to show you how the media scored this fight on MMA Decisions. Go down the list. This is MMADecisions.com. You can see how the media scored the fight for Merab Dvalishvili and Umar Nurmagomedov. Not a single media member scored the fight for Umar Nurmagomedov. I think it was a close fight. I think most people do. You even look at the scorecards, 48-47. But anyone saying that this is a robbery, you're not giving the respect to Merab. Like, it was not a robbery whatsoever. The 5th round was close. I gave it to Merab. I think most people gave it to Merab. So people saying that it was a robbery, why is not a single media member scoring this? Are they anti-Umar Nurmagomedov? I don't think so. I think they saw the fight that we all saw, which was that Merab won the fight. So people saying robbery, you're just becoming, you're just a poor sport at the end of the day if you can't give the credit to Merab for winning the fight. Umar 3-2, nothing impressive about Merab except being a clown and good stamina. He still won the fight. He got the takedowns. He did what he had to do to get the win. You still have fans here not giving Merab the respect. It's insane to me. Umar should have won. How did the jury evaluate it? I just showed you not a single media member scored the fight for Umar. Merab's face was smashed. I think Umar won. I've heard this same argument a couple times since the fight's been over that because of damage that Umar should have got the win. What about Alex Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev, their first fight? Volk did a lot of damage on Islam's face. How come the fans don't bring that up? They all thought that Islam won the first fight. And by the way, I did as well too. But if we're going to use that argument, then you better have brought that up in the Islam and Volk fight. And they never do. This is what I'm talking about. They pick and choose what they want to focus on when it comes to the rule set. And then the same person, end of talk. Umar had a broken hand. How can you rate Merab, you fool? Not to highlight that. Broken hand is not real win. Bullshit win. Again, this is what we're dealing with here. You have fans that are not willing to give the respect to Merab Dvalishvili. All right, so I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. We just had fun here today, guys. I'm not going after anyone. Which comment did you like the most? If you go back and watch this video, let me know your favorite one. Just one thing I can't stand is just arrogant fans. And you get this from other fan bases like Ilya Taporia or Alex Pereira. You will see other fan bases not give any respect whatsoever to the opponent. They deserve to be criticized. That's what we did here in today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @LynchOnSports. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.